the internship's been working out well. It's pretty intense. I'm at the Department of Homeland Security, but I really like it. I've got to meet some great people, and networking has been a real plus.
My internship is really wonderful, and I do love it a lot. I am interning at the Lab School of Washington, which is a school for students with learning disabilities.
I'm interning with my home district congressman, and it's a pretty small office like most of the House offices, which means that I get to do a lot.
Alright, I'm interning at Straub's Radio Strategies. It's a PR firm that does all its work via radio.
I'm interning at the American Bar Association's Commission on Immigration. I've learned some of the aspects of immigration law by corresponding with detained immigrants who are detained by the Department of Homeland Security's Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
The internship is definitely probably my favorite thing that I'm doing. It's an experience I can't have in South Bend and has been a really valuable one. People there have taught me a lot. Being able to talk to the other master's students gives me a feel for what I want to do after graduation from Notre Dame.
Also get to go to hearings and go to briefings and talk to constituents. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
I've learned a lot in the PR firm of what I want to do with PR. Like, I've seen how the different people I work with in my office specifically are able to communicate effectively to the clients that come to them, and just the personal skills you need. And I've definitely realized this is something I want to do once I graduate.
I learned a lot about the different aspects of immigration law, and basically how easy it is for people who don't have legal status to be detained. And I think this will apply to my career because I hope to go into immigration law in the future. And I think I've really learned of how complicated it is and how much attention it needs.
The classes are definitely a lot different than the classes on campus. For the most part, they're smaller than any classes I've had. They're much more discussion-based. They're a lot of fun. They're not easy, but they're not nearly as difficult as some of the classes you might take on campus. So that's nice.
And by far my favorite class is public policy with Kellen Burt. The fact that we get to go somewhere in the city during every week, whether it be the Supreme Court or like today a lobbyist, it's just so exciting because, I mean, hello, we're in Washington, D.C., we want to be able to see things.
My classes is a history class, and it's about race, and that was particularly relevant given the Obama presidency, and I'm glad I've had that chance to look more at the historical background of where the presidents come from. Another class is my journalism class, which is taught in the Post press room, and that's a really cool opportunity to be able to talk to a Post editor. Both of those classes, I feel like, are a much easier workload than they would be at Notre Dame, but they're giving me something different, sort of the more experiential learning and the value of having someone like a Post editor who you're not going to find at Notre Dame.
They're pretty good. They're very small, which makes it very easy to interact with your teacher. Even, I'm in 2 classes which have 4 kids in them, including me. So you have to, you definitely have to be engaged, and it's definitely for your benefit because you can really ask a question whenever you want. So.
The public policy visits have definitely been a great way to just supplement our experience in D.C. because they allow us to go to places that we wouldn't normally visit.
It's definitely a different sense of community than the sense of community at Notre Dame. Obviously, on campus you've got the community within your dorm, but that's strictly one gender, whereas in the Boston University Center, even though we're not living in the same room as different genders, we definitely have much more of a sense of community with them.
I love Woodley Park and the fact that we're just a block or two away from Adams Morgan, which is just an eclectic center for living. It's great.
It is definitely different. Because we're all doing such different things, like each of the students here, the ways in which we connect, I think, are different than they are at Notre Dame. At Notre Dame, I had a lot more in common with my friends as far as just daily routine goes. And here, it can be completely different. I'm in a school. Some people are working on Capitol Hill. Some people are working just in totally different places. And that gives you I don't know, just different perspectives. Also, being in the 6-person apartments, I think we definitely, at least in our apartment, have sort of an in-apartment community that's a part of but distinct from the broader group community.
Living in DC is definitely a great opportunity, especially for people like me who have never lived really in big towns. I'm from Kentucky, so I've definitely never experienced big city life. Living here has definitely been great. I've definitely gotten exposed to a lot of cultures, a lot of people from different backgrounds, so it has been a good experience.
I love DC. I'm already trying to figure out when I can move back here. Just being in the city and the opportunities it has to offer you, it's great. Being able to walk out your front door and go down a few stops to the Metro and take it to anywhere in the city is it's a fun thing to do.
The fact that we spend most of Thursday, all 15 of us together, is really valuable as far as community building because it's shared experience. But in general, I think that there's sort of a lot more chance to build relationships based on different things here rather than just classes or, dorm.
I like everything about the city. Overall, I don't think I could have made a better choice of a program, a study abroad type program.
I think it's a great program, and I know people have talked about it as being like Notre Dame's little secret, and I think that's totally true. It's such a gold mine to be able to come here in DC, live in a city for a semester, which you don't get that experience living in South Bend, Indiana, going to ND. And then not only do you live in the city and experience that itself, you get an internship wherever you would like and get some real world experience in any field that you choose.
I think this has really been a good experience. A lot of people think that maybe it's not as great of an experience because you don't get to go abroad, but I think that the internship experience has definitely been great because it has given me some experience that I wouldn't have gained while in another country. And here I feel like I've gotten the opportunity to do things that will supplement my career in the future.